Hey everybody, it's PositiveBenzoWithdrawal, Anya, and sorry I haven't been around to do a video. I don't know, just wasn't really the right time, and I thought I would give a little update and let you know I am now 3.5 months from the setback, and many things have improved. I feel like the camera is going like in and out, so I'm gonna lean in. Many things have improved, and there's much more that needs to happen before I am 100% or even 50% back. But what's improved? Okay, first of all, in my last video, I talked about having oral thrush. So, story time, I have to tell you the story. So, 3.5 months ago, right after the antibiotic, I was looking at my tongue for some reason. I don't normally look at my tongue, and it was white, like coated white. I've never, okay, and I freaked out because the health anxiety was like insane. And I went, oh my God, we have to go to the ER. I was like, I don't know what I thought was going on. So we get to the ER. The guy takes one look, but mind you, we're in a pandemic. I live in the Bay Area. There's a lot of cases here. So even at the ER, the doctor was like really far from me. And I opened my mouth, stuck out my tongue, and he takes one look at it from kind of like afar, and he says, oh, it's oral thrush. I'll write you a prescription for a nystatin. And I was like, okay. So I get the script, go home. Oh, and I also told him that I had a little like had developed like these lines inside my cheek, and he's like, oh, that's thrush. So I go home and I do all this research about nystatin, and just like normal people are having horrible reactions to it. And I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm taking this. So for 3 months, I went cuckoo crazy trying to figure out how to get rid of this oral thrush. I'm telling you, tea tree oil, swishes all day long, baking soda, salt. I mean, I just took out everything out of the cabinets, put it in a concoction, was like swishing it all day long, like scrape around my tongue, spending hours researching on the Candida website on Facebook. I mean, driving myself cuckoo nuts for 3 months, okay? So then I'm like, I send my primary care provider, and it's not going away. In fact, it's not going away, and it's getting worse. So I am like thinking I'm dying. I must have systemic candida. Now my throat is sore. I'm like full-blown panic mode, right? Because especially on the Candida website, you're like, everyone's convincing you you're dying. So I sent a couple pictures to my primary care provider, and he's like, yeah, no, that doesn't look like thrush. And I'm like, what? So I sent some photos to an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and she's like, no, that doesn't look like thrush. And I'm going, that's odd. Okay, let me go ahead and book an appointment, an in-person appointment with an ear, nose, and throat doctor. So I like take my, okay, so I'm convinced. And this whole time I'm freaking out thinking I'm going to have to take an antifungal. Like not just nystatin, but diflucan. I don't know if that's how you say it. Freaking out. I mean, you have to understand, after going through a setback, you are like, I mean, the PTSD from that is pretty huge. You know, maybe that'll go away someday, but at this point it was really high. So I'm there in the lobby, in the waiting room, and I'm like deep breathing and panic, and you know, my partner's sitting next to me, and I'm like convinced. I have this entire narrative in my mind. I'm gonna walk in to the doctor. He's gonna take one look at me, literally wheel me out in a wheelchair, put me in the hospital with an IV of diflucan. This is what I'm thinking. So I walk in, sit down, he looks around my mouth, and he goes, no, I don't see any oral thrush. There's nothing there. And I said, well, what about this? And he goes, oh, that's because of this. And I said, well, what about these lines? And he's like, oh, that's just the way your teeth are kind of mashing. What about these little things back here? Oh, no, that's just this. That's just that. Well, why is my throat red? And he goes, well, walk me through your oral hygiene. And I tell him how many times I brush my teeth, how many times I'm swishing. And he goes, I think you're overdoing it a little bit. I think you need to dial that down. And that's probably irritating your mouth and causing some pain. I can't tell you guys, I walked out of that. I felt elated, like this huge, like 3 months of it weighing down my shoulders was just released. So, my takeaway from all that is do not put anything in my body unless it has been confirmed. Oh, and then, I'm sorry, there's a little bit more. I had him do a culture, of course. Culture comes back negative. There's no yeast in my mouth. Y'all, I never had oral thrush. Takeaway, don't put anything in my body until I get a second, third, fourth opinion and a culture to prove it. So anyway, I'm doing a video, babe. It's okay. So anyway, I put it back. Anyway, real time. So, that's that story. And so what's gone? What's left? Well, I mean, the abilities that I've gotten back, I can watch TV again. That was huge, you guys. I could not watch TV in acute. No. So I'm watching TV. I can walk about 20, 30 minutes. Sometimes I can do that twice. And you know, if you've been following me for a while, I was like an avid walker. And that's not come back, but it's a little bit. Let's see. What else has come back? I can banter. I can laugh. I feel happiness. I feel some joy. I have now had 2 menstrual cycles, and I've had 4 altogether since the setback, but 2 of them I've not had extreme PMS to where I felt like I was gonna off the balcony or something. Like the first 2 I had were ridiculous. Like the hormones were just insane. I mean, I definitely had an uptick of anxiety during PMS, but it was manageable. So that's a relief. I feel like my hormones might be coming back in balance. So yeah, I've been able to go to the store a couple of times. Had one time I went to the store, I felt fairly calm. A couple other times I went, I felt like a little wackadoodle, like DPDR was really bad, dizziness, and that was uncomfortable, but I did it. Driven a little bit. I've driven down to the beach a couple of times. So my gut stuff is still a big issue. I still have a lot of GI problems. I'm, sort of like in the IBS territory, not fully IBS, but I'm like a slight IBS kind of thing going on. That's shitty. We'll see if that resolves on its own. The symptoms that I have are like DPDR. I feel a lot of head pressure, like sinus pressure, like all in here. I know I've had this before, not here, but here, the back of my head, pressure. I kind of feel like I got dropped on the head or kicked in the head. Like it's this kind of weird, like weird head thing. Yeah, it's bizarre. Dizziness. What else? Yeah, eyes are weird, DPDR stuff. I don't feel like fully connected to my body, I mean, I was a body worker for 20 years, a dancer. I don't feel that, like a connection through my body. Like my nerves haven't fully connected that way. Yeah, derealization, like I'm not connecting. I can connect emotionally, much, much, much better, but there's a physical disconnect, if that makes sense, if you know what I'm talking about. I still get some like little tingling, a little burning, sometimes, but very, very slight. Nothing like, the beginning. Nothing like the beginning. Yeah, the acute phase ended at about 2 months. Little bit of tinnitus. It's died down today, I think, because I was having some PMS. It was up a bit more. Is it there? Not so much. No. Yeah. Also, I thought that I had a UTI, and I did D-mannose because, again, I was scared, and that seemed to go away too. And I went and got a test. Seems to be negative. I'm still waiting for the actual like culture to come back, but the preliminary results are that it's negative. I got my vitamins checked, just B12, potassium, magnesium. I don't know why the vitamin D hasn't posted yet on my test results, but all those were fine. I was actually really surprised that my mag and potassium were fine, and B12. B12's like on the low end of fine. I mean, if you went to a naturopath, they'd probably want to like pump up the B12, but I'm good. It's like in the 400s, so I ain't looking to take no sups. So yeah, I'm over 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and post this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'll keep you guys updated. Just remember that not everybody gets a setback. Please don't be scared. I know a lot of people follow my channel who are tapering, and y'all probably like, I don't know, some of you might have seen the setback video and been like, ah, you know I would have been really triggered. So just know that not everybody gets a setback. It's really rare. I have a friend who's healed after a 10-month klonopin taper, and like she healed it like 9 weeks off, and she's fine. So protracted withdrawal is not common. Setbacks are even less common. You're gonna heal. I'm now in the protracted group, so I look for inspiration through others. I do Dr. Jen. I'm gonna really put a plug in for Mornings with Jen. I think it's fantastic. I love doing Mornings with Jen. She's offering like a free thing if you want to just check it out and not commit. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 9 to 9:45 Pacific. And you contact her through her website, benzowithdrawalhelp.com. Check out Mornings with Jen. She's also a benzo coach, and she can do private sessions. And then I do Bayliss's Wednesday webinars. I meet with her frequently, and that's what I do for my maintenance, like therapeutics, because there's a lot of weird mental shit that goes on in this, and we really need the help. I'm also protracted now, so I need a lot of support. I'm hopeful though, because I've seen a lot of improvement. So hopefully my next video will be even more improvement. I can't wait to do my hair again. It's like a perpetual bad hair day. But you know what? I'm just grateful for the little things. I'm still knitting. I knit a lot. I've knit so many. This is funky, but it's on backwards. Anyway, whatever. I'm just chilling. All right, y'all, let me know how you are, and lots of love to you, and we're gonna get through this together, y'all. We really are. We're gonna get through this together. Love you lots. Peace.